Andrew Tucker, and welcome to Andrew Tucker World. What's going on, all my great people? What's going on, all my boxing fans? Hey, man, I'm a little disappointed regarding this situation with Gervonta Davis. I'm running across a few articles. One that I just stumbled across not too long ago. Shout out to Sky Sports. Shout out to SkySports.com. You know what I'm saying? But and then this is basically old news. You know what I mean? Old news. Regarding a situation, 2 incidents regarding Gervonta Davis. And he got a fight coming up January the 7th. I don't know if this is going to hinder the fight, affect the fight. I don't know if the fight is going to go forward. I don't know if the fight is still going to take place January the 7th. I was really looking forward to this fight. I'm really excited to see this fight. To be honest with you, it's one of my, as far as next year, 2023, one of my highly anticipated matchups, because I became a big fan of Hector Luis Garcia. You know what I'm saying? And you know that Gervonta Davis is one of my favorite fighters, in the world. You know what I mean? So I hate this. One thing I noticed about Gervonta Davis, he's become more mature as a fighter. This incident was 2 years ago, I believe, in 2020. You know what I mean? I'm going to get into it. But he's become more mature as a fighter. He's become more humble. And no one is perfect. So y'all quit to throw stones saying Tank is the bad, looking at Tank as the bad guy, looking at Tank as a bad individual, looking at Tank, you know what I'm saying, as an evil individual with evil intentions, as a bad person, judging Tank, throwing stones at Tank, you know what I'm saying? So quick to be hypocritical, and you got skeletons in your closet. You ain't perfect. You got something in your life you need to change. You need some areas. There's some things you need work on. There's some things you need help in. Some areas you need help in. You need to pray and seek God about. You know what I'm saying? And some things you need deliverance from, and some things you need to be restored from. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, quick to crucify a man, come at a man, judge him, and I don't condone. I was so against. I don't know if you've seen videos, but I was so against. The situation regarding Gervonta Davis with his baby mother, his ex-girlfriend. That situation, made me sick to my stomach. I was very disappointed with Gervonta Davis, but you sometimes you'll never forget, but you have to forgive. And I know sometimes we make mistakes. I know sometimes, I ain't come to preach, but the devil is busy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have the free will to do right and to do wrong. Yes, we have the free will to do right, to make right decisions, wrong decisions. We are human beings. We make mistakes. We live in this fleshly temple. We have our fleshly desires. Sometimes, we can have a thought disorder or evil thoughts. Every human being is not 100%. 100%. Something is going on with this. Something's going on with this. A mild mental condition. A mild mental condition. You can be going through something. Physically, you can have physical illnesses, mental illnesses. You know what I'm saying? You could have something going on psychologically. So you could be going through things financially. Not just, you have stress. You can be stressed out. Some things you can be going through personally. So you can be stressed out. You can be depressed. You can deal with anxiety. It can be a lot of things you can be battling with and you can be dealing with. But sometimes fighters hold it in. They keep it to themselves. They don't reveal it until it's time to reveal it. So people can most definitely stop being on the outside looking in, judging these fighters and coming at these fighters. You know what I'm saying? We know we human beings, we make mistakes. Some of us have a past, a very dark past, like myself. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I see God. God has allowed me to overcome so many situations, so many dark situations. I made so many mistakes. I was unwise. But now, as a mature man, as an older man now, 37 years old, I'm more mature. I'm more wiser. I have a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I'm more humble, honoring, loving, caring, and supportive. You know what I'm saying? inspiring people, motivating people, encouraging people. You know what I mean? As a leader, you know what I mean? And Gervonta Tank Davis is the leader of this of his generation. You know what I'm saying? He's the leader. I've seen this guy become more humble. He's not perfect. Ain't no one perfect that ever. The only person that was ever perfect to ever. And no disrespect to nobody's religion. No disrespect to nobody's religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs or whatever. But the only person that ever walked this earth that was perfect was Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? According to history, the only person that was ever perfect to walk this earth was Jesus Christ. We are not perfect. We human beings. We have our downfalls. We make mistakes. We fall into traps. We can be easily persuaded to do certain things and to act certain ways. We ain't perfect. You know what I mean? But I come across this. Gervonta Davis arrested on domestic violence charge. Boxer scheduled to fight Hector Luis Garcia on January the 7th. Gervonta Davis was held in custody in Fort Lauderdale following his arrest on Tuesday. Davis is expected to appear at court at a court hearing on Wednesday. The former world champion is scheduled to fight Hector Luis Garcia on January the 7th. So they not saying anything about the fight being canceled or being postponed or anything of that nature, or the fight being in jeopardy. I mean, but we can get some. This was updated. This was early. This came out early this morning. This article was released very early this morning. Which could have been noon or in the afternoon in the United Kingdom. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to SkySports.com. You know what I'm saying? Once again, it says Gervonta Davis was held in custody in Fort Lauderdale following his arrest on Tuesday. Davis is expected to appear at a court hearing on Wednesday. The former world champion is scheduled to fight Hector Garcia on January the 7th. So for when I'm hearing the fight is still going to take place, the fight is still on. He got to appear at a court hearing. Hopefully, things work out. You know what I mean? But yes, I was very disappointed and I was very upset with Gervonta Tank Davis regarding these incidents, the situation that took place in 2020. Gervonta Davis was arrested on Tuesday in Parkland, Florida, on a domestic violence charge of battery causing bodily harm, according to Broward County Sheriff's Office records. The former world champion remained in custody in Fort Lauderdale and is scheduled to appear at a court hearing later on Wednesday. Details of Davis' arrest and the allegations against him have not yet been made available. But TMZ posted a photo of the boxer said to be taken in custody. The 28-year-old, who is one of the biggest stars in American boxing, is scheduled to face Hector Garcia in Washington on January the 7th. Davis, who has won all 27 of his professional bouts, was then expected to face fellow unbeaten fighter Ryan Garcia in a much anticipated contest in April. The Baltimore boxer previously faced two misdemeanor battery charges following a February 2020 incident where video allegedly showed him grabbing his former girlfriend by the throat at a charity basketball game. Davis is also set to appear in court February for his alleged involvement in an unrelated hit and run incident in November 2020. So I remember the hit and run incident, and I was like, man, shaking my head. I was like, man, why? I mean, these guys really have to stay focused. I know that they make a certain type of money. They live a certain type of lifestyle. They live a certain lifestyle. They have fun. They like to have a good time. They live a certain lifestyle. Of course, the certain lifestyle can most definitely become a hindrance to what they do to their career path. To their careers, which they have to be 100% mentally and physically prepared when they step in the ring. It's some things that they can experience outside the ring that can hinder their concentration and their focus on boxing and perfecting their craft. It happened to a lot of fighters over the history of time and the history of the sport. And I just pray that Gervonta Tank Davis have learned from the situation, and that he focused. He's 100% dedicated to his craft, 100% motivated, 100% focused, 100% continuously perfecting his craft, 100% dedicated to the sport, and just being consistent. But also at the end of the day, just staying away from everything that's just not work. It's just because he's getting older. I know he's starting to mature. He's starting to understand some things. He's starting to become wiser, more understanding, with a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He's starting to be on that mature level where he knows what mistakes not to make. He knows what not to get into. Some of these things are going to become old. It's going to die out, and it's not going to be worth it. He's going to realize that, man, that there's a lot of unclean spirits, a lot of demons in this area of the world and this lifestyle, and I can't be a part of that. I can't be a part of that no more. I want to be great. I want to be a role model. I want to be a leader. Not saying change who he is. I mean, he's cut from that cloth. He's from one of the most dangerous cities in the United States, Baltimore, Maryland. You know what I mean? So I mean, how he was raised, how he came up. He's cut from that cloth. Just like myself, I can understand. But a man can change. A man can get old, can grow, can become wiser, more understanding, have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Pursue a different. Go down a different path, a path that's going to allow him to see things totally different, evaluate life different, analyze life different, and know what mistakes not to make, and know to go on to be a great leader, not just only a living legend, or when it's all said and done, one of the best fighters to ever live. You know what I'm saying? Being a future Hall of Famer. That's what it's all about. Being there for his family, for his kids, and things of that nature. Leading by example, being that leader. You know what I mean? Not just a great fighter, but a great leader, a great person. You know what I'm saying? But I'm the one to judge no one. I don't come against nobody. And I just pray for Gervonta Tank Davis. You know what I mean? This situation is just really making me feel some type of way, because I have so much love and respect for this kid. I love this young man, and I want the best for him. I really want the best for Gervonta Tank Davis. You know what I mean? So shout out to SkySports.com. It's also reported on Fox, on FoxSports.com. Shout out to FoxSports.com. Undefeated boxing world champ Gervonta Tank Davis arrested on domestic violence charge week before next bout. And it goes on to say the same thing. Boxing world champion Gervonta Tank Davis was arrested on a domestic violence charge in Florida Wednesday, according to jail records. The 28-year-old boxer star was booked into Broward County Jail on a battery charge. Record shows details of the arrest and alleged domestic violence incident were not immediately available. Davis has a prior domestic violence arrest. Okay, so it says prior. You know what I'm saying? In 2020, he was captured on video forcefully grabbing his ex-girlfriend and the mother of his child by the throat at a charity basketball game at the University of Miami. Davis surrendered to the police days after. The video circulated on Twitter and was charged with simple battery domestic violence. The victim suffered injuries to her lip and jaw, according to the arrest report. According to the arrest report at this time. Davis is set to fight Hector Luis Garcia in Washington, D.C. on January the 7th. It's unclear if his Tuesday arrest will affect the match. The Baltimore native has held multiple world championship titles in 3 weight classes, including the WBA lightweight, title since 2019. He remains undefeated more than 9 years into his professional boxing career with 27 wins and 0 losses. So when I have more news on this, I'm gonna come out with it. But I'm really disappointed, and I really don't really want to come out with really come out with any more news regarding this situation. I'm really looking forward to this fight, and hopefully everything can work out. We still can get the fight. Sometimes I know you got to suffer the consequences of wrongdoings and wrong actions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm understanding towards that. But that's all I got, man. I love you guys. Much love and respect, and I'm out.